What's in my camera bag? Who gives a shit? The first thing I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself why. Why did I click on some random dude's video that I might not know to find out what's in his camera bag? I want you to actually think about that. Take a second. Think about it? Good. Okay, so let me answer that for you. The reason you clicked on this video is because we all give way too much of a shit about gear. The way that I see it is that gear is our distraction from creation. If we're constantly talking about hazelnut cream from Ukraine, these are amazing. If we're constantly talking about the new piece of gear, the new best thing that's coming out, what we're doing is we're distracting ourselves from doing the hard work. And the hard work is actually creating something original for ourselves, or something that's unique to us. We go out, we buy the next newest, hottest piece of gear and just copy everyone else and hop on that train. I want you to try this on for size. Ask yourself, what if I took all my time and all my energy, and instead of researching what's the newest, hottest piece of gear, or how do I maximize this piece of gear, or what are I'm the best YouTubers using right now, what if instead you took all that time and all that energy, you ask yourself, how do I become better at my craft? How can I get better at storytelling? How can I hone my skills? How can I hone my skills? How can I hone my skills so that I can get to the next level, the next stage of creativity? What are you doing to get there? Are you doing anything? Are you reading about storytelling? Are you learning about character development and narratives and things like that that are just gonna make you a better storyteller, that are just gonna make you a better filmmaker? Instead of focusing on what everyone else is using and what you could be using to tell cleaner, crispier stories. We get very caught up in we get very caught up in the quality of what we're using. Everything's got to be top notch, and we're losing the most essential part in all of this. Not to say that 4K doesn't look beautiful. It gives you extra room to work with. You can crop in on it. All these amazing things, but it's just not necessary. For some projects at least. I just think for the vast majority of stuff, it's not important. Here's the ultimate goal. What if you got so good at storytelling and honing your own craft that when you added 4K and when you added all these higher resolutions and creative tools, when you added this beautiful kit to your skill set, what would happen then? I think we just have it backwards. It's not that all this stuff doesn't matter, it's just that what we should be doing is we should be focusing on story first, and then once we have a good grasp on that, then that will just add such another element, such another layer to the creative process, to the story, to everything. And that is when all this shit becomes beneficial. Now, what we don't want to get caught up into is when we reach a really good level of storytelling and creativity, and we start to kind of focus a bit more on the gear, and we go, hey, cool, like I have all this stuff, I've got great ideas, I've got great stories lined up, I can use all this stuff now that's really gonna benefit my story. Don't get caught up in that stuff, you know? Use it to your advantage, but make sure that you don't get lost in it like we tend to do. You can get lost in all the gear, figuratively and metaphorically, and at that point, I think it starts to become a little damaging on your mental health, not a good place to be in. When all you're doing is watching people basically experience Christmas morning over and over again, unboxing and showing off the next new thing that they got, it makes you kind of feel shitty about yourself. It makes you kind of feel shitty about yourself that you don't have all these things. And that just leads to a horrible state of mind where we're constantly wishing we had things that other people had that make them better filmmakers, and we tell much better stories if we had all that stuff. And then you realize that all that stuff doesn't actually make them a better storyteller. It's just taking up a lot of space in their room, in their garage, in their studio, in their house. And the more stuff you get, the more anxious you start to feel, because your place is just covered in shit and you don't know what to do with everything, especially if you have a tiny apartment like me. And then you have all this anxiety that's building up because you have all this stuff around you, and half of it, if not more, you don't even use on a regular basis. All you want to do is just tell a good story, and all you want is just your camera and yourself and your voice, and you don't know what to do, and you start to get like really lightheaded, and there's too much shit. There's too much shit. That's what's in my camera bag.